pizzas, regardless of the fact that Italian cuisine has so much in it according to their regions and variations. We still talk about pizzas and pastas. So today we're going to talk about pastas. How can we make pasta at home and enjoy it with various sauces? There are hundreds and thousands of shapes and varieties of pastas in Italian cuisine. But yes, in your nearest supermarket, commonly available pastas are like spaghetti, fusilli, which are corkscrew shaped pasta.
Perfect. Right.
Penne, which are tubular shaped and has a ridge. Fettuccine is again long strands. These are dried ones which are available, so that is why you will find them in this shape. When you boil it, they will open up like noodles. These are the ones which are not that common, and people around India may not know much about them. Like rigatoni, these are tubular shaped pastas which has tubes so that sauce can get into it and you can relish the thick sauce with it. Then you have paccheri. This is again tubular shape. This is more hollow and has a big tube shape. Then apart from that, there are n number of shapes which are also available. But yes, nowadays health conscious people are going for options like whole wheat penne, whole wheat spaghetti, like this one. And the most famous one, very popular amongst kids, is the bow-shaped pasta called farfalle. So we're going to start with the basic dough for pasta, which can be easily made at home with egg or without egg. So I'm going to tell you, if you're allergic to gluten, you can use a gluten-free flour, which is easily available in supermarkets. Otherwise, the basic dough, wherever you go, you have to use eggs. Or you can use lukewarm water if you want to have eggless pasta. So every 100 grams of flour, you require 1 egg. That is the ratio. Usually in the hotels or the restaurants, we use only egg yolks. That is why you will find yellow colored pasta dough. But otherwise, you can definitely use whole eggs. A little bit of salt. And make a well in the center. And crack 2 eggs in between. And gradually start making the dough. This may take a while for you, as the pasta dough is a little firmer than the usual doughs, and you need to work a lot to get the firm dough. So after you knead the dough, it will take some time and a lot of energy, as the pasta dough is very firm. It has to be very firm. So the basic technique, like this has come together, has to be push it towards the slab, bring it back, and again invert it to 90 degrees, and then again push it towards the slab. So this is the technique which you have to use, and then you have this firm pasta dough. Now for this, you have to give this a rest for about 30-35 minutes. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to wrap it up and put it in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes. So now, after refrigerating the dough for about 30-35 minutes, this is what you get. I'm going to open the cling wrap and I'm going to roll it out. Make sure your dough, you have to keep dusting your dough so that it does not stick. With the help of a rolling pin, you're going to just flatten it out a bit. So that it is easy for us to feed it into the machine. If at home you do not have the machine, which the manual ones are available, India made also, you can use the rolling pin. That is not an issue. So you know, slowly feed it down and make sure that you're holding the pasta from one side. You feed in from here and you catch hold of the dough from here so that it does not stick to each other. Then again take it out, dust some flour so that it just does not stick to each other or between the rollers. And gradually, when you see that at this thickness it is easily coming out, you can slowly and gradually decrease the thickness from the knob which is over here. If you go to buy this machine, you will also get a handle which can go in over here and you can rotate it manually also. And also make sure that you keep folding in the dough so that every time you pass it through, your pasta gets the strength. The more you pass through, the better the strength of the dough or the pasta is going to cut out. See this? The moment you roll it once more at the same thickness so that the fold which you had done is completely sealed off. At this stage, make sure that you shape up the dough or the sheet the way you want it. If it is going broader, you roll it back, fold it back so that you get the shape which you require. Like this, and then the rest of the sheet I'm going to just cut into half, which we're going to use later. Right? This can be refrigerated in a dry cloth so that it does not get wet or dry. If you leave it outside for a long time, it will dry up. For a fettuccine, what you can do is again dust it nicely with the proper shape, roll it up and just with your finger do a markation. Just cut it into equal lengths. So when you open it, just dust it with the flour and you open it, you get the fettuccine. Right? Again, it is easy to boil a pasta at home if you do it with a homemade recipe because it does not take long for it to boil. The indication is to put it into the blancher with salt, and when the pasta rises to the surface, that is the indication that the pasta is done. Whereas if you buy dried pastas from the market, you will definitely get an indication on the packet for how long you have to boil the pasta. For next, we're going to do a ravioli, a simple one. There's one easy way to do, which everybody follows, but you will is cut two sheets in equal length. Just brush some egg at one end. If you are a vegetarian and you're using the eggless pasta dough, then you may skip the egg. You can use a little bit of water. That's going to do the same thing. It's a pre-made chicken mixture which I made and kept. It's nothing chicken mince, with some cream, thyme, and cooled with onion and garlic. In the center, at equal intervals, just place the mixture. And then the other sheet, the other half which we had kept, we are going to put it on top. For this, just take a round cutter. Just make sure it's dusted with flour so that it does not stick to the sheet. Take out these rounds. To this, the same filling I'm using. Make sure your filling is enough, but at the same time, it should not be so much that you just cannot shape up your pasta. And if the filling is less, you will taste more of pasta and the filling will be less. For this, make sure the filling is enough, not more, not less. If it will be more, you will not be able to shape up the tortellini, and if it is less, you will taste more of dough and less of the filling. Just fold the pasta into half moon shape and make sure it is secured with your thumbs, exactly like this. And there is no air gap in between. Then two ends you have to make them meet. just put egg wash on one end, and with the help of the thumbs and the fingers, make them meet and secure like this. This is your basic tortellini. This is how you do it. Make sure it's dusted nicely so that it doesn't stick. I'm going to show you once more so that you don't forget. Half moon shape like this. Secure with your thumb. Make sure there is no air gap in between. Nicely secured. Then at one end, with the egg wash, with the help of the thumb and your finger, just make the two ends meet and make sure it is nice and secured. These are the basic shapes which I have told you, which you can enjoy at home with any sauce. Fettuccine, as I said before, you can just blanch it in salted water. When you're boiling it, make sure that the moment pasta comes on the top at the surface, that is the time your pasta is done. Take it out from the water and just add a little bit of olive oil just so that it does not stick to each other. And then make the sauce and just toss the pasta in the sauce. For the rest of them, the fillings, make sure the fillings which you're using are cooked. Like I used the chicken one, it was cooked. With that, like that, you can use any filling in it. For vegetarians, whatever your liking is, make a filling, fill it up, and the plus point of these pastas are that you can freeze them. So whenever you require, you can freeze them according to your freezer. If it's nice, you can freeze them for 2-3 weeks. First one, which is the pepe sauce, and this is not seasoned. We're going to season it now. Some garlic, some basil, some parsley. The peperoncino chilies you can add to the tomato sauce. It will become arrabbiata, or we will use it for the aglio olio and peperoncino. And this is the fettuccine pasta, which is already blanched. We're just going to refresh it in the blancher. So this is the basic setup which you have. You have a pot with boiling water, salt in it, and a strainer, for which with the help you can take out the pasta. So let's begin with the aglio olio. Take some olive oil in your pan. Make sure the chilies, the garlic and the oil is enough, as the sauce is only based on these. Add the garlic. You don't have to get the color on garlic, but make sure the garlic is cooked and the rawness of the garlic is off. Add some peperoncino chilies. You can vary the heat required according to the heatness you require. Now the fettuccine which was in the blancher for reheat, just dip it in the pan and let some water come along with it, because otherwise your pasta will stick to the base. Just toss it up. Some parsley, some salt, and there you go. For plating it up, take a pasta dish, or you can take a flat plate which is available at home. With the help of your tongs, just roll it up, base, so that your base is strong, and the rest of the fettuccine, you can do the same with the spaghetti. Just roll it up and top up of the base. So it is kind of a mountain. Just basically it looks good. That's all. The next one I'm going to show is the tomato sauce, which we are going to use at the base for the tortellini, which we had made earlier. Now dip in the tortellini in the same boiling water. By the time you make the sauce, your tortellini is already boiled. So this is basically your basic tomatoes which are boiled and cooked with puree, and then now we're going to flavor it with some garlic. Again, start with the olive oil. Add in the garlic. A little bit of garlic. If you want, you can add in some onions also, if you like. Just don't let the color come. If you want, you can add chilies again, and we'll make a arrabbiata sauce. Add in the tomato sauce. Cook it up. Slowly and steadily it will cook up and it will come to a sauce consistency. As it is a coarse puree, do not make a fine puree. You're going to get a nice chunky sauce. And mind you, the garlic is already in the sauce while you were boiling the tomatoes. So now add in a little bit of garlic, a little bit of basil for the flavoring, so that you get a nice basil flavor. Classic tomato basil sauce. Now it's nearly getting in there. Get a consistency so that it is not runny. There is no water, excess water in the sauce. Season it with some salt and some pepper. The tortellini is ready. Now we will plate up. Now to plate up, nice and thick sauce. Make sure it's not dry. It's nice and moist, but still it's thick. Traditionally, if you want to do it, you can just toss up the tortellini in the same sauce, make it a little more thinner. We'll go a little different this way, this time. Just spread the sauce at the base, because remember, your tortellini has the filling and it is nice and moist. The tortellini is nice and moist from inside, which has cheese in it and has. Now we're going to top up this blanched tortellini, the boiled tortellini, on top of the sauce, because we do not want the sauce to overpower the shape which you were given to the tortellini. Let people see what you've done. These are chives which are available in the market. If you do not get, it's okay. It's not a big deal. You can use spring onions to plate it up. Some basil. Place some olives, whole olives, or you can slice them up. It's all up to you. And to give it a final touch, just drizzle some extra virgin olive oil so that you get a shine and a nice flavor. Get some Parmesan cheese. There you go.